Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? Thank you for joining me for the very first edition of the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're organized. We're a little late today in show one, I have to admit, but we are organized. We're ready to go. We've got the timer down below, which will keep us on track and through the topics, so get ready for a quick-hitting, explosive show. This is your one-stop shop.
And now, for the news.
As I was saying, your one-stop shop. Look, I can't even get the timing right yet. It's going to be so quick, fast, and quick-hitting, so get ready, buckle up, let's roll. News. We have 9 minutes and 48 seconds to get through the news, and then on to the next topic. We're going to be tight, we're going to be fast, we're going to be hard hitting, and we're going to Javante and Lamb the hell out of this show. So let's go. Get burrowed, buckle up. Here we go. News topic number one. Let's go over this Deshaun Watson stuff first, because Watson is an interesting case to talk about walking into 2022. Look, we're going to talk about the playoffs. We're going to talk about the matchups and all that. We'll delve into that, but we're still talking 2022 for the most part when we do these shows. Like we'll dig into the playoffs for sure, and I'll probably give you some of my matchup stuff. Maybe in random bonus round down below, little hint. But Deshaun Watson 2022, I don't know what to think. I would love to know what you guys think, but we are potentially, I think, looking at a trade where Watson's traded out of Houston. I think they're done with him. I think they felt like they've ruined him enough. And I'm not saying Watson's innocent or guilty. That's a whole nother topic. But I do know Houston wanted to literally just ruin this guy, regardless of right or wrong. And I think other teams may have explored playing him, see what the league was going to say. There's a lot of legal things to this that are above a lot of people's pay grades, and different pieces to this that are better explained by legal and professionals. But what I do know is that the commissioner exempt list is something that you can't necessarily, I don't know if always, there might be caveats, but you can't necessarily use during a civil situation like Deshaun Watson's. But there is a potential criminal aspect that would open up, and that's pending and waiting the civil litigation, because if Deshaun Watson is found guilty or whatever, these civil issues would then turn potentially criminal, or at least the criminal side would open up and have legs to stand on. Now, there are over 20 cases pending against Deshaun Watson. Each case is individual, but it is a consolidated trial, if you will, a consolidated effort on one attorney's part to corral in a bunch of different cases. Consolidated does not mean class action. That means that not one verdict comes in for all parties. Each individual person of the 20 must settle and agree with Deshaun Watson. Now, in civil is like 95% of the time money driven and does settle. Okay. I'd say 90 to 95% of cases, according to the attorneys we've had on. We've had, several people come on and talk about this, but we had Tony the attorney, come on and talk about civil versus criminal, and civil usually settles. Okay. There are 20 cases. This is very complicated. Teams are going to be very gun shy to come after this man when they don't know what the future holds because of the cost of entry. It's not like you're signing a big deal, right? It's not like you're signing a huge monster deal and that's it. You're taking on a big contract and a player that also costs you potentially 3 first rounders or more. And that's what Houston's going to want. Houston's probably not going to fold and give up Watson for anything less than like 2 first rounders and maybe a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's probably going to be a 3-round type price tag for Deshaun Watson. And that's going to be very, very tough. I'm not saying it won't happen. I think a lot of teams will explore what's going on. But I think maybe behind scenes, we don't know what's going on. Maybe teams have said, hey, Goodell, what's this looking like if we were to pull off a trade? And if Goodell's like, don't do it. We don't know what conversations are being had. I'm not saying they're happening. I'm just saying we don't know what's being had conversation-wise between the commissioner and teams that are poking around and interested, because there was a lot of buzz about a trade potentially happening and then nothing happened. Nothing happened. Why? Why did everything fall through at the end? Did Commissioner Goodell say, don't do it? Don't do it? Because there's a lot of money involved with advertising and sponsorship, and right or wrong, I don't want to hear Smitty, he's innocent, or Smitty, he's guilty. I'm not here to debate that. Okay? I'm not here to debate that. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But in the eyes of the NFL, it's not always the case. So right or wrong, it's not always the case. And Deshaun Watson is probably looking at a potential up-road battle to get into a starting spot for week 1. However, it is time to toy around with the idea of where he could go. New Orleans. Miami appears to be out. And we have this piece of news. It's this one right here. So Yahoo Sports is reporting that now fired coach Brian Flores, which was a disaster of a fire. Like, why would you fire Brian Flores? Well, we know why. Relationships. We've seen the whole reports. Relationships. This is a good coach. He's going to get scooped up right away. And Miami's crazy in a lot of ways. But he was the driving force, according to this report, for potentially trying to go after Deshaun Watson. So there's thinking in this report, at least in a couple of the reports I've seen, that Deshaun Watson, what's up, everybody? I see you in here. Wesley first in the room. Mealy, what's going on? Tariq in the house. Champs, Dan, James. Okafor, our winner of our Champions Round League, by the way. Okafor's in the house. Get burrowed, Dan. 49ers versus Bills Super Bowl, says Gold Rush. I see you. Whoa. I think Deshaun Watson, there's a shot if he's going to play. Let's say everything's going to get delayed and whatever. And the NFL is not going to step in, which we believe they can't, but you never know what kind of caveats are involved. And the fact that there is a criminal investigation potentially pending or being explored, which will be based on the civil claims. And again, to wrap up Deshaun Watson, if Deshaun Watson's 20-plus claims get resolved and settled upon, there's no more criminal aspects of this unless new reports surface, new victims, potential victims surface. Deshaun Watson is looking at, if all 20 of those cases settle, then he's looking at no potential criminal, because the criminal cases or the criminal case or whatever would have all of those as the evidence. So if the evidence goes away on settlement, there's nothing left to do criminally. But since the criminal stuff is waiting upon the civil, like if he's found guilty or he moves forward, doesn't settle, that criminal part will then use the civil as its evidence in a sense. So it's not over, and there's no, just because a criminal case hasn't been opened or fully looked into doesn't mean it won't happen. So a lot to digest here, but landing spots potentially. We got 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the news. This show's flying already. Deshaun Watson, Miami, is no longer probably looking into this according to this report. I don't know if it's entirely true, but I do believe that was one of the things that Flores was pushing for and wanting to. He didn't trust Tua. I don't trust Tua. I hope you don't trust Tua. And Waddle would thrive under Deshaun Watson. So I don't blame Flores for wanting that. Denver could be a landing spot for Deshaun Watson. Imagine Deshaun Watson and Devontae Adams united. That's a possibility. Where they would unite, I don't know. Some say Las Vegas, some say Denver, New Orleans, Pittsburgh, all the same landing spots that Russell Wilson and A-Rod could venture to, could potentially be a landing spot for Deshaun Watson. So that's that piece of news. We got 1 minute and 9 seconds to get through the rest of this. Mike Williams, an impending free agent, said he would like to return to the Chargers in 2022. That's good. You know, I know everybody's worried about Josh Palmer and his targets, and I like Palmer a lot. And the exit of Mike Williams would definitely open the door to Josh Palmer Guyton, I like Guyton a lot too, but Mike Williams, it would be interesting if they converted Mike Williams to a tight end, to be honest with you. and got him out there. But he has such a tough time staying healthy. Blocking probably wouldn't help that. But Guyton, Josh Palmer, their values are clearly dependent on that. Tyreek Hill should be okay for his playoff contest coming up here. So don't worry about him if you've got him in any fantasy playoff leagues. And God, I wanted to talk about this. I'm already out of time. The Panthers coach, Matt Rule, said he fully expects Christian McCaffrey to be on the roster next year when asked if the team would consider trading him. This could be posturing. I think they'll definitely entertain ideas. They know McCaffrey's shelf life is either already shortened or will be very, very short this year. So we'll see.
Time for a Smitty rant.
Well, here we are again talking about Aaron Rodgers. And after this, I'll maybe jump back into the Christian McCaffrey topic because I think that was a very good topic. Ballers Life in the house, Gold Rush, what's going on? Mealy, Mike Williams, tight end. It would be insane, I think. I think he could be a tight end. I could see him putting on some weight and becoming a tight end. I'm just saying. Maybe that would help him stay healthy. Who knows? Aaron Rodgers. Everyone keeps coming out of the woodwork, DMing me, putting in my comments, Smitty, why do you think Aaron Rodgers isn't staying in Green Bay? You got to be out of your... Where's my megaphone? You got to be out of your mind. If they win a championship, he stays. If they fall short, Smitty, he stays. And Smitty, if they lose in the first round for his first contest after this bye week here, he stays. Everybody's got an opinion, okay? You've got an opinion. I've got an opinion. No one's right yet, okay? But what I have on my side are facts. And you could say it's my getting into Aaron Rodgers' head, and I do that too. I've got a lot of predictions and speculations and hypotheses and everything. Sure, I mix that in. But what we know for certain, factual information, is that this man, Aaron Rodgers, said, I pretty much think I'm not coming back unless you redo my contract that says I can get out next year. What more does anybody need? I know I've talked about this a lot, and I know I keep beating a dead horse on this topic, but my job is to prepare you in fantasy football with your thinking, your mindset, your drafting. Anticipate what's probably going to happen because of all the impact that Aaron Rodgers leaving would have on the team that he goes to and on the team that he's leaving. Because if you think Devontae Adams, who I believe will probably get franchise tagged, logic would have you tagging this man. The Green Bay Packers don't have a whole lot of logic sometimes from an organizational standpoint. Love the fans, love the team, love the coaches, love the Packers in theory, love what they stand for. But decision makers in Green Bay don't always make the right decisions. It's a lot like dismantling the Chicago Bulls. I know the Bulls won all kinds of championships, and it's blasphemy to compare the Bulls to the legacy that A-Rod's had in Green Bay. I'm not trying to level them up together. I'm merely saying you have an organization that has already made a decision to dismantle the franchise. Hey, we'll let you out, A-Rod, for one more year when they're the favorite to potentially win it all. And if you don't agree with that, that's fine. A lot of people believe this team could win it all. Whether you think A-Rod chokes is a whole nother topic. I firmly believe the Green Bay Packers have probably the best shot to win the Super Bowl in 2022. Aaron Rodgers is coming for blood. Guess what Aaron Rodgers does better than anything? He lives in the drama. Like Bane from Batman, this man was born in the dark, molded by it. And when he's down a touchdown and he's got 47 seconds left and he's got 82 yards to go, he lives for that. He's better in that situation than having 20 yards to go. This man loves drama. He feeds off it. And if anybody thinks this is this distraction, all the stuff with the 19 list that he went through, if anybody thinks that's going to derail A-Rod from his journey toward a Super Bowl, you're out of your mind. This man loves it. He lives for it. He thrives off it. And if anybody thinks that A-Rod's staying, if anybody thinks A-Rod's staying in Green Bay, why on earth does he go on the Pat McAfee show over and over and smile and grin when they poke at him and they say, hey, A-Rod, you like Green Bay? Well, I like my teammates. But do you like playing in Green Bay? I like my teammates. He clearly dances around with a big grin about going back. Yeah, Last Dance, Michael. Michael, we talked about it. Michael's exactly right. Michael says, Last Dance. We talked about this. When A-Rod decided to come back, the cryptic tweets, the image of Last Dance on Instagram, him and Devontae Adams syncing up on that IG post, if you don't remember. Last Dance. What more do you need? What more do you people need? Not specifically you, Bob, or Steve, or Grandma, or Mom. Hey, Mom. Thanks for watching. I honestly don't know much what more you need. He said Last Dance after his contract was agreed to be renegotiated so that he can walk away. He was not allowed to walk away. Now he's going to walk away. He said it in a tweet, or he said it in an IG story post, synced up at the same time as D. Adams in the offseason. They redid his contract. He talks about how unhappy he is in Green Bay. They give him no control. What world do you live in? Where you are running things, making decisions, making draft selections, personnel decisions, bringing in rookies, scouting rookies, and you don't go to one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. This guy has got GOAT status. And you as an organization don't go to this man for over a decade and ask him what he thinks. Who would you like to bring in? If I was in charge of this situation and I had a phone number and I could reach out to Aaron Rodgers anytime I wanted, and I was in charge of personnel decisions, I'd be having cups of coffee with this man every single day. I'd be texting him left and right. Aaron Rodgers and I would be completely like this all the time if I was in charge of personnel decisions, and he would eat it up. Because A-Rod, that's all he's ever wanted. Be included. If you went to A-Rod and you were in charge of making personnel decisions, if you were scouting players and you went, hey, A-Rod, can we meet every Friday morning for coffee and go over scout? He would eat that up. Aaron Rodgers, it's all he's ever wanted. And you don't give this man that luxury. Unbelievable. And the fact that people think they fixed this, but Smitty, they've been working on it. What have they done? Who'd they bring in to catch the football for A-Rod? Who? He's still throwing to Lazard, who I like. MVS, who keeps getting hurt. I mean, what more do you want? What more can I explain? Why do people think if they win a Super Bowl, he's coming back? Like, he cares about that in terms of his happiness. If you watch this man be interviewed in his candid fashion, and he's one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love that people get upset at him, and he is so refreshing to hear give a press conference. And I know everyone's going to say, he lied about this, he lied about that. Aside from this one situation that the man kept getting poked at, that he tried to keep private in his life, besides one situation, this man's the most honest, candid guy. When you talk to him in a press conference, tells you what you want to hear, tells you what you don't want to hear. The only person I love more in the NFL personality-wise is Joe Burrow. Joe Cigar Smoking Burrow. This man, I love the way this man carries himself. Joe Burrow's in GOAT training. This guy's not only going to be I'm sorry I'm getting on a tangent here, but Joe Burrow's not only going to be a top 2 to 3 fantasy quarterback in 2022. At me all you want. This man, Joe Burrow, carries himself like he's already there. He's going to be a top 2 to 3 quarterback in the league, top 2 to 3 quarterback in fantasy football. At me. I don't care. I'll smoke up this marker like a cigar. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited about Joe Burrow. We've got a minute and 20 seconds to wrap this A-Rod thing up. Start preparing. I'm not saying I'm 100% right about everything. I am not a moron. But what I'm telling you right now, Aaron Rodgers, the likelihood of him going back to Green Bay after this season. Could he retire? Yes. The likelihood of him going back to Green Bay feels almost slim to none. I wouldn't say 0%, but I would say such a low percentage. I would say it's close to 0% based on what he said, based on what he's done, based on what he's asked for, which was to get out, based on all of his social media presence and story posts. He's gone. Start preparing. If I'm wrong, we backtrack. If I'm wrong, we're wrong about Adams. We're probably still not wrong about Aaron Jones because Dylan's still a thorn in his side. But Adams is going to probably be tagged and playing with Jordan Love. You can't have him 1, 2, or 3 in your dynasty wide receiver rankings or even your redraft rankings. You can't have Aaron Jones, who gets 15 to 18 touchdowns because of Aaron Rodgers, still ranked high on your fantasy rankings walking into 2022. We will adapt and adjust if A-Rod starts looking like he might stay based on comments. But for now, start preparing. That's Aaron Rodgers.
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
He'll punch you in the throat.
Okay, so that is that. Voicemails. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show right now. We will dig into the voicemails. I should have told you ahead of time. I'm going to be going through voicemails. I'm going to be playing those voicemails in this segment. And I think I need to prepare you ahead of time before that happens. So next time I will do that so that we have a whole bunch of them waiting for us. But drop a voice message right now and I will get to it. And I'm going to go to my IG account right now. And on the Christian McCaffrey, while I wait for some voice messages to pile through, again, go to the Fantasy Football Show on Instagram, DM me, and leave me a voice message. I'm not reading messages. I'm doing voice messages only. So dial in. As for the Christian McCaffrey topic, which I wanted to touch on the news section, do I think he's leaving in 2022 out of a Carolina uniform into a new uniform? Probably not. Probably not. I think they'll entertain trade offers, but will he leave? Probably not. If he did, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. Look, the Panthers know how to utilize him, know how to abuse him, know how to give him almost too much work. The work that's made him dissolve and deteriorate into the player that we see before us right now. Like, he is an injury-prone guy. And so, am I worried about McCaffrey wherever he goes? Absolutely. Am I drafting McCaffrey in the top 5 overall? No, I'm not. I'm not. Not top 5 whatsoever. Not even close to top 10 overall value. He just doesn't have it, period. Plain and simple. Do I take him in the second round? Absolutely. I would definitely consider McCaffrey, assuming everything goes well and he starts healing up. Of course, I would contemplate McCaffrey in the second round. But I'm not spending a first rounder. There are too many talented wide receivers that I would take above McCaffrey, running backs, and I think you're crazy to consider him your first drafted player given what he's done over and over. Leave those voice messages right now. Let me know if you've left one, and I will look for it. Burrow and Mahomes are my super flex QBs. That's fantastic, Kenny. That's absolutely fantastic. Packers need to draft Kenny Pickett. Yeah, dude, he's a pretty good wide receiver. My rookie wide receiver breakdowns are coming very, very soon. I've got my running backs up. R. Smith, I saw your super chat. I'm sorry, pal. R. Smith says, love this format keeps you this format keeps your attention is what I think he's trying to say. Appreciate you, R. Smith. And we're going to continue with this format going forward. This Monday through Friday show is going to take over fantasy football video shows. I really firmly believe we're doing it. We're doing it. Big energy, big hands. Smitty's got big hands. Big energy, big hands. We're going to do it. We're going to do it live. We're going to do a 1 hour packed full of information Monday through Friday. And it's going to be amazing. You kind of look like Joe Burrow. Hey, you know what? I absolutely love that's the best compliment I've received all year long. Is it the cigar? What makes me look like Joe Burrow, bro? The way this man carries himself, that's the best compliment I've had all freaking week. Nigel with the super chat. Nigel, I appreciate you, good buddy. Shout out Smitty. Super Cup 2022. How long is the draft time? I'm in an 8 hour per pick for the playoffs. This wait is brutal. It's going to be more brutal. The 96 team league that we have is going to be absolutely frustrating to a lot of you, but you're gonna have to get over it. You're just gonna have to accept it is what it is. The format is what it is. The 96 team league, if anybody wants in, you got to drop a $20 super chat. It's not an entry fee. It's just your way of saying we love the show, and my way of saying you're in a league, bro. And we're having prizes. We got all kinds of amazing things, like these amazing rings. Like, look at these. These are like $150 to $300 Super Bowl looking rings. They feel like a Super Bowl ring, a real Super Bowl ring. They're heavy. They look like one. They're fantasy rings. They're absolutely phenomenal. We got all kinds of stuff we're giving away in this league. 96 teams, 8 copies of every player. To answer your question, it'll be a timer of 60 minutes, so 1 hour. Timer off at midnight to 6 a.m. Eastern. And you can pre-rank. So if you're like going to bed and you think you might wake up and be on the clock and get timed out, you got to pre-rank. Don't mess up and not pre-rank. Absolutely amazing. This league's going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, let's see if we got any voice messages. Where are they at? IG's not refreshing. This is why we got the phone line, and part of the reason why I got the phone line. When I go to these IG messages, they like never reset. Mark didn't leave a voice message, so Mark's not getting answered. It's not reset. It's not resetting. Damn, IG. Way to screw up our voicemail segment, IG. Way to go, bro. Way to go. Where are these? Where are my voice messages? Are you leaving them and I don't see them? What's going on? This is the longest wait I've ever had for a voice message from all of you. Where is it? Josh? JR? I see you in here. You're typing me, but you're not leaving me a voice message. I'm not replying to the text messages, the voice message. Eminem, the real Slim Smitty. Thank you, pal. I would draft Chase over Cup. I would draft Chase over Cup too. I don't mind anybody taking Cooper Kupp. Look, he's the king of touchdowns, receptions, yards. He's got the triple crown, bro. Like, no one can say that this man isn't worthy of the number 1 overall wide receiver slot or even a top 5 overall pick in redraft. But I do believe Chase is the dynasty one. I do believe Chase can be the redraft one. I do believe Chase is a top 5 wide receiver. I'm sorry, a top 5 overall pick and number 1 wide receiver, at least 1 to 2 in redraft. Number 1 in dynasty without hesitation. And I'm drafting Jamar Chase number 3 overall in a dynasty draft. I'm not messing around. I'm not getting cute. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not passing on getting the guy I believe to be the number 3 overall player and getting cute and trying to get him at number 7 or number 6. Somebody else is going to get cuter and take the man. Now in redraft, I think we need to use ADP to our advantage. I think he's probably not going 3 in redraft. At least now he won't. But he'll probably go 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want Jamar Chase and you're not willing to spend a top 5 to 7 pick on him in a redraft, you don't want Jamar Chase. You just say you want him. You just say you want him, but you don't really want him. You don't really want him because if you really wanted him, you would do something about it. You'd take him number 5 in redraft. And in Dynasty, forget about it. If I'm in your league, I'm taking him 3. Get ready for it.
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? Happy Monday.
What's up, Tariq?
How's everything going? It's Tariq in the house.
Appreciate you, Tariq. You got a fantasy question? Drop it, bro. Tariq, dropping a voice message. Thank you, Tariq. I got so many DMs here. That's part of the problem of why I can't find some of these voice messages, because I'm getting slammed with, you didn't pick my team to make the Super Bowl, Smitty. You didn't pick my team. How can you have the Cowboys beating my Niners? I love my Niner community. You guys know I love you. I support my Niner community probably above all other outside communities I have. I support you, but I'm not going to fake it and tell you I think you're going to win when I don't believe it is to be true. Not to mention, I wavered on it. It's not like it wasn't super close, but in the end, when I was doing my predictions last night, I still waver a little bit. I put, here's my predictions here. I put, this is what I pick. This is what I'm projecting. The Bucks to advance, the Cowboys to advance, which would make the Rams the lowest remaining seed, the worst remaining seed left. And that would put the Rams, I got to watch my timer here. I got 1 minute and 34 seconds. That will put the Rams against the Packers. If the Niners won, that would make the Niners the lowest remaining seed left. They would play the Packers. If, let's say, the Eagles won, they would be the lowest remaining seed. They would play the Packers. So the Packers get to play the quote-unquote worst-ranked team left of the 3 wildcard games in the winners. So the Rams, Packers, Cowboys, Bucks. I have the Packers and Bucks going to the championship game. Okay, I have the Green Bay Packers obviously winning that game and obviously winning the Super Bowl. You know that. I say obvious because I've talked about it over and over. I think A-Rod's coming home with the title and then going straight to Pittsburgh or to Denver. Maybe New Orleans, but probably Pittsburgh or Denver in that order. I've got the Bengals beating the Titans after they beat the Raiders, then beating the Bills, who I struggle with this one, but I went Cincy because I think Joe Burrow and this team is phenomenal, and people still aren't giving him credit. And I got so much pushback on all my Bengals stuff this offseason. People are still giving it to me. Completely don't even understand where the pushback's coming from. What are they not doing to prove themselves? And I like Buffalo a lot, KC a lot. It's tough. It's tough predicting that side of the bracket, but. And then I get questions like, hey, Smitty, why is your bracket so boring? You have all favorites to win. Number 4 seed?
It's time for fantasy football. Court!
Court is in session. We've got a 10-minute timer here. Court, ask your questions. Fill up the chat. Mello, I appreciate you. DM me right now on Instagram, Mello. Tell me as soon as you send that message. I want to see a message that you've sent it to me. DM me on Instagram right now. Who are you taking, Mixon? Or who you taking, Mixon or Chase PPR first round? Nigel, I'm willing to spend a top 3 or 4 or 5 overall pick and redraft on Jamar Chase. I like Mixon, okay? Mixon proved me wrong this year. I'll admit, Smitty, take a lap, Smitty. I like Mixon a lot, but this isn't close to me. It's Jamar Chase, bro. He's arguably a top 3 overall player in redraft, definitely in Dynasty. Give me Jamar Chase all day long. All day long. Nev says he missed voicemails. You certainly did, Nev. You dropped the ball on the voicemail segment, but you can still get in on a fantasy court. Ask a question, pal. Mello, where's the DM? Ziggy, shut up. Jamar Chase, a high first round pick. He's top 5. He's not just high. He's top 5. There's a long shot that... Oh, what are you doing? Baytown. Ask a question, Baytown. I want to get you in here. Wow, Smitty going all in on Jamar. What do you expect? Who is not going all in on Jamar, Mr. TD? JJ or Jamar Chase? Give me Jamar Chase, but I still love JJ. Like, I don't want to say this in disrespectful fashion, okay? Disrespectful fashion. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Mello, you sent me a message? Okay, Mello, I got you. I'm going to send you another message right now. Okay, just reply to that. I appreciate you being in the league. Young Mello dropping a 20 spot, getting in the 96 team league. We've got about 40, I'd say 50 spots left out of the 96. 8 copies of every player in the player pool. I don't want to be disrespectful to Jamar Chase, or JJ, Justin Jefferson, not in my courtroom, but Jamar Chase, number 1 redraft wide receiver, number 1 dynasty wide receiver. JJ's 2 or 3. You could argue Kupp is 2. In redraft, and JJ's 3 in redraft. Mainly because maybe quarterback situation, but you know, Stafford and Cousins, I mean, I know Stafford's probably better to a lot of people, but he's having his problems. You know, he's had injuries in the past. He's always kind of played through them, though, let's be honest. He doesn't miss a lot of games, but he is always banged up, or he has been in the past. I like JJ, top 3 guaranteed. Redraft dynasty doesn't matter. Kupp goes to 3 in Dynasty or 4, 3 or 4 in Dynasty, but he stays at number 2 in redraft. You just can't ignore what he did. Triple crowning, the receptions, touchdowns, and yardage. But Jamar Chase, you are my number one wide receiver across all formats. Case closed. Case closed. Super chat. Nigel with the super chat. Oh, I got the mixing one. Nigel says, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Slim Shady. Thank you, Nigel. Excellent super chat. Appreciate you. 6 minutes left. Najee or Cup, 1 year keeper. Give me. That's close. I mean, Cooper Kupp's got that kind of value, bro. And people that don't want to accept it at this point, they're just sad that they didn't predict it. You know, like when you fail to accept something that is clear as day, okay, and you were wrong about, that's called stubbornness. That's called stubbornness, and what it comes from, where it derives. If you want the psychology of fantasy football breakdown on this, is it derives from you missing the opportunity to predict it. The fact that you didn't see Cooper Kupp coming to this degree frustrates you, and it makes you feel wrong. So if you doubt him, it makes you feel okay. I'm not admitting I'm wrong yet. I was maybe wrong for a season, but he's gonna drop off. Anybody saying Cooper Kupp's gonna drop off, like, could he? Sure. Could he get hurt? Sure. Could anybody drop off? Absolutely. Is he a spring chicken? No, he's an older wide receiver, not extremely old. He's got 2 or 3 years potentially of elite top 5 wide receiver potential. His drop off isn't there yet. He's 2 or 3 years away from a potential decline in talent. But could he drop off? Sure. But for your logic to be, he's just gonna drop off, he won't sustain. That's because you want to put a stamp of approval on the doubt that you had. You don't want to admit that you were wrong, because if you say Cooper Kupp's number 1 or number 2 next year, that's you admitting you missed the boat in 2021. But don't be afraid of missing the boat or not seeing a guy coming. We all do it. R. Smith wants in. Thank you, Terry. R. Smith wants in the draft. Give me a DM right now, R. Smith, and let me know as soon as you send me the DM on IG. Okay, bro? Send it right now, pal. Right now. Let me know when you did. R. Smith wants in. I also write your name up on the board if you're going to be in this league. If you want in this league, sorry, R. Smith, I didn't mean to take your thing down here. Look at that, man. 20 spot, wants in the league. Let's go. 3 minutes left. JJ. Baytown likes JJ. I don't blame you. No one's taking a lap for liking JJ over Jamar. I just think you got Joe Burrow throwing the football to Jamar Chase. You got JJ with Cousins, and you don't really know what's going to... Ziggy, off. Ziggy, show me the front door. Let's see who's at the front door. Is it Miss Smitty? Okay. Was Waller a bust this year in fantasy? Yeah, absolutely was a bust this year in fantasy. Absolutely. Is all of it his fault? No. The man got hurt. Ziggy off. Will forever remember you calling Derrick Henry's downfall the touches, says, I don't know how to say your name. We'll call you Win. Thank you, Win. And I'm not proud Derrick Henry got hurt, and nor do I feel like I absolutely nailed the call entirely, because what I should have told you, where I need to take a lap, is I should have said something more along the lines of, hey, let's all draft this guy because we know he's going to ball out. Because what did I say, Win? Every single time I talked about Derrick Henry breaking by double-digit weeks, it was always followed. Find a video clip where I don't say it. It's probably going to be rare, because I wanted to make sure I emphasize this point. Derrick Henry was going to ball out until he got hurt. Completely ball out. And I even said 150 yards and 3 TDs in a game here and there. Like, I didn't just say he played good. I made it abundantly clear that his talent hadn't dropped off yet. It was all about injury. It was all about overusage. The irresponsible usage of Tennessee. Irresponsible usage. 27 carries a game. And here's the thing about Derrick Henry moving forward, okay? This is a very, very important topic. R. Smith, did you send me a DM yet? R. Smith, send me that DM. Let me know when you did. It's a very important topic because Derrick Henry and how he looks moving forward is going to be real important as to where we rank him next year. How they use him moving forward in the playoffs will be real important as to where we rank him next year. My fear is that if Derrick Henry gets the volume that is required for Derrick Henry to be Derrick Henry, we're talking about 26, 27, 28, 29 carries pretty much most games. That's what he needs. Because if you watch Derrick Henry and you own Derrick Henry, this is no disrespect, but if you owned him last year, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When Derrick Henry was getting carries in the first and second quarter, he wasn't blowing up a lot of the time. They were kind of plodding. He looked like a plotter out there, 2-3 yards, fall down. Like he wasn't just hitting hole after hole in the first and second quarter. If you want to argue against that, go back and watch football. Go back and watch the games. Where he tore it up is when defenses got so sick and tired of tackling this big beast of a machine. And he's just steamrolling over people in the third and fourth quarter. And just all of a sudden, he goes from having 40 yards in the first half to 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. He needs the volume. He's either going to get the volume and get hurt early on in the year, so draft him again. This year, draft him. Top 5 running back, sure. But trade him by week 7 or 8. Then Smitty approve it. If he doesn't get 26 carries a game, how can he be Derrick Henry? It's a catch-22. And now on to speed round Q&A. Speed round Q&A. I'm going to respond as fast as I can to every single question you throw at me. So this is speed round Q&A. I don't have music for this yet, so we're going to probably go with... let's go with... we'll do this one. Speed round Q&A, as fast as you can fire it at me. Let's roll. Let's roll. David, real quickly, David, send me a DM on Instagram right now, bro. Right now. R. Smith, I need that DM on Instagram right now if you guys want in the league. We got Mello in, we got R. Smith, and we got David. R. Smith, if you already sent it, great. Oh, you dropped me an email, okay. Gotcha, pal. David Carmichael, send me Carmichael, whatever it is. I can't even see it anymore. There it is. My screen's freaking out here. David, send me a DM right now. Appreciate you, David. Let me know when you did it. Okay, here we go. Speed round. 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Throw at me whatever you can. Let's go. Let's roll. Where should Josh Allen be drafted in redraft? I would say end of the 3rd round, but try and get him in the 4th round. People are going to be so skittish for drafting quarterbacks. I don't know why after Josh Allen was the #1 quarterback in fantasy football. I know a lot of people are going to be skittish of drafting quarterbacks this year. I don't think it feels different. I think people are going to go wide receiver heavy, but I don't think they go quarterback heavy. So if we can get him in round 4 or 5, fantastic. I don't think he needs to go in round 3 right now. I would take him there, but don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Round 4 is my final answer. Worried about Kamara, Cook. How much should I be looking at selling these guys in 2 QB leagues? If you can get into a Najee and JT by giving up a lot more, you're not going to be able to trade Cook or Kamara for Najee or for JT. But maybe you can get rid of something else that's going to make somebody go, okay, I'll take a Cook. Try and back out. If you want to go across position, you'll have a lot better luck. Trying to get a Jamar Chase for a Kamara will work because right now it seems ridiculous to people to draft Jamar Chase that high. It won't very soon. So cross position trades oftentimes work really well. Jamar Chase over QB in a super flex. Look, you could win 100 different ways in super flex. It all depends on how many QBs you think will fall to your 2nd and 3rd round picks. If you can get away with a Trey Lance and a Stafford, I would do it. But if you're going to have literally nobody and you're going to have to draft some garbage quarterback in round 3 that nowhere deserves to be drafted in round 3, you got to really know your league, but it's not crazy. Odell Beckham Jr. staying in LA. I believe he will. because he's happy. He's happy for the first time in a long time. And that's more important to him right now. Just like it was to AB, and then it wasn't. I don't know if Odell is going to go off the rails later. He's not quite AB capable in terms of that stuff, but I do believe that we're looking at Odell staying. Smitty, now can these people get in this league, the Super Cup 2022? How can these people get in this league? Sorry. All they got to do is drop a $20 super chat, Nigel. It's a very, very good question. And then you get into the league. Odell doesn't have CTE, says Mr. TD. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that even AB does. It's a lot of people believe that he could. A lot of people believe that AB could, but there's some thinking too of mine that he's so calculated. He might just be that crazy. AB. Odell is just kind of he's a much better locker room guy, but he has jumped from team to team to team. But I think he's happy. I think Odell stays. I really like what Odell's been doing in LA. I think he stays, and I think he's pretty good for another year or two. Early top running backs for 2022. I mean, we've done this before. It's JT. Najee climbs up to JT's level exactly, even if A-Rod does land in Pittsburgh, or if Russell Wilson landed in Pittsburgh. I think Najee would be that high. But it's JT. It's Najee, then it's a grab bag. It's Cook, it's Kamara. Do you put Derrick Henry at 3 or 5? Do you put Cook or Kamara up there? Eckler number 3 after 2 TDs in week 18. It's really hard to deny Eckler. He's an injury worry, but Eckler feels 3 or 4 for running backs. But we're always getting disappointed when we take last year's numbers and just kind of assume they're going to happen again. But Eckler's there. He's right there. I wouldn't be opposed to Eckler 3 or 5. I wouldn't be opposed to Henry 3 if you trade him by week 7 or 8. Guaranteed, vow to me, you will trade Derrick Henry by week 7 or week 8. You have to. You have to. Prizes TBA, bro. Prizes TBA. Dylan's value if A-Rod leaves. Dylan's value could be okay. Aaron Jones's value is in trouble. Aaron Jones's value is in trouble. Rashad Bateman, biggest disappointment this year. I don't think you could say that, bro. No one. Who was expecting huge things, Chandler, out of Rashad Bateman? Maybe you're just saying big disappointment. Maybe you didn't mean to put biggest disappointment, but I can guarantee you that biggest disappointment, he doesn't even crack the top 50 list. There were so many disappointments this year, Chandler. Talking about guys like Waller and A-Rob, Allen Robinson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire disappointed me. I had a lot invested in him. Top 20, like 50% of the top 25 probably busted or extremely underperformed or got hurt. But Bateman definitely, didn't, I think, live up to some people's expectations. But man, Bateman's not even on my mind. I don't know that I drafted Bateman in one league. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're throwing down. Terry McLaurin was a bust this year, but get ready because Terry McLaurin has top 7 to 12 wide receiver potential. I said 7 to 12 because it's a big range. He deserves a big range. You don't really know what you're going to get. You don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be a year and a half from now. Absolutely love Terry McLaurin's skill set. This man is a sleeping giant. Whether he ever gets awoken or not, I can't guarantee that. I don't know for certain how that's going to go. But what I do know is Terry McLaurin has top 6 to top 7, 12 to 12 upside in terms of wide receivers. And if he gets a quarterback and consistency, just wait. David, send me an email. Go to sleeperu.com, David. But you got to let me know right away, bro. Sleeperu.com. Hit it. Go, David. Go. Go, David. Go. St. Brown, a 5th round next year. Gary. St. Brown could go that high. You know, I did a breakout and sleeper post where I said, who's your breakout and sleeper for 2022? And a lot of you said St. Brown, and I don't blame you. He's on a little list that I've got over at sleeperu.com where David's supposed to be messaging me right now. Sleeperu.com. Scroll to the bottom, David, click contact. On sleeperu.com, Mr. St. Brown may or may not be on a little list that I have. Okay, so go check it out. But St. Brown's already broken out. Everybody's already excited. Like, why St. Brown had to do so well down the stretch pisses me off. Because now everybody and their mother is calling this guy an insane beast. St. Brown is not going to surprise anybody, but will he still over-deliver? He might. I love him. I'm all about him. Ranger, what's Ranger saying here? Or Ranger, Ninja? How is Mitchell going to be next year if they keep Mostert? I don't think that's a good question if they bring Mostert back. I think Mitchell's going to be good. But there's some risk. But I really like Mitchell. Okay, 1 minute left. Wide receiver over running back heavy in 2022 redraft leagues. Yes. I'm going to be probably one of the bigger content creators out there that's going to be talking wide receiver. But guess what? It doesn't really change for me. Am I going wide receiver early, or am I still going best player available? This is kind of a trick question, but you should know the answer. Am I really going to go wide receiver heavy, or am I just telling you running backs are riskier and that I have wide receivers ranking higher than running backs, so I'm still best player available? My main approach is best player available. It always will be. I'll probably never change. It's a real obvious strategy, but nobody can, I shouldn't say nobody, a lot of people can't remain disciplined and go best player available. I mean, certainly, Brian, was it Brian? Brian, did you email me yet? I certainly think that hit the like button on the way out the door, says Terry. Best player available. I certainly will lean wide receiver, I think, more than running back when all things are equal. But my point is that wide receivers will rank way higher. Ziggy, show me the front door. Ziggy, show me the front door. I swear, I blocked off this time, and I've got everybody and their mother calling me, talking to me, trying to get me. 1 second. 1 second! Son of a... God. Ziggy, off. We're already on the random topic. Q&A just changed scenes without me. Life. That's right. Life happens, bro. I got screaming and yelling. I've already blocked the time off. I told everybody to leave me alone, but no. It just goes crazy in House Smitty, in Casa de Smitty. Okay, random topic here. This is where I was going to talk about the NFL playoffs, but we already did that. So Star Wars, someone wants me to talk about Star Wars. Random topic, it doesn't have to be football. It usually will be football or fantasy. But I'm going to say that Boba Fett is something that I'm getting into right now. It's a little slower than I would like. I don't like it as much as Mandalorian. Mandalorian hooked me right away. Boba Fett I'm trying to get into. If anybody's seen Boba Fett, let me know how much you like it. I'm definitely pushing through. What's up, Mike? This is my first. This is my first fantasy football draft. That was my strategy. Best player available. Good job. Best player available is so important to stick to because it makes it so a lot of the times you're drafting against the grain. Sometimes you're drafting wide receivers when people are drafting running backs. Sometimes you're drafting running backs when people are drafting wide receivers. A lot of times if you go best player available and people are forcing running backs, it can burn you. You have to know what you're doing. When all things are equal, you can lean toward a positional advantage, no question about it. But for the most part, you want to make sure, you want to make absolutely certain that you are going with the positional advantage if you see that it is even, if everything looks even. So wide receiver, I'll do that. If I think I can get away with it later in a draft at running back, I'll do it. But I think I'm going to lean wide receiver more often than people are expecting because they're the best players available. God, Casa de Smitty's in shambles right now. This time slot is not, I think the family's not prepared for the time slot. The exterior world outside of the studio is not prepared for the new time slot. Time slot went crazy. Day in my life, says Champ. We love Star Wars. We're going to end this topic now and go straight to the goodbye. Appreciate everybody. I'll have more of the transitions in the show worked out. It'll be smooth. How'd you guys like the new format so far? It's forced, it's fast, it's quick hitting. We gotta roll with the punches. Life happened in the middle of it. Threw me off track. But that's okay. We're going to keep doing it live. We're going to keep doing it like we're doing it Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 1 hour every day, Monday through Friday, here on the Fantasy Football Show. So let's get to it. If you drop that $20 super chat, you need to contact me today. Send me that email. Was it Brian? Who was it? Brian. Brian. It was who was it? It was David. Sorry, David. David, appreciate you. I got Young Mello. Send me a message, and then it was R. Smith. So all three of you won in that 96 team league. Appreciate everybody. Later.